and I've tried my very best, and I've left no stone unturned to try and become the best cricketer I could ever become. I think for me, I needed to be sure that I was playing the game for the right reasons. I was playing the game. To be able to achieve great things for India, to be able to win Test matches for India. Well, it's been difficult. Well, it will be difficult. I make no mistake about that fact. I've loved every moment of playing for India and playing for the Indian cricket team. I also know that in some ways it's been an easy decision as well, because I just know deep down that the time is right for me to move on. When people call me that, and I know a lot of them call me that very fondly, so I sort of respect it. But I never walked around thinking like I'm this wall, or I'm this sort of player. I mean, in the end of the day, I knew that I had to go. In the end of the day, when a player knows he has to go, then he has to go, and I didn't feel the need to drag it on any longer. When I look back at myself as a 23-year-old when I played for India, and I look at some of the talent that's on show, I just know that I was nowhere near as talented as some of these kids. It's obviously just being talented is not necessarily doesn't necessarily mean you'll have a successful Test career. There are a lot of things that go with it. How you face the challenges and how you deal with things sometimes that are internal more than external. So yeah, maybe my new routine will be buying the groceries and going to pick my sons up from school, dropping them to school.
All right, so Rahul Dravid has finally hung up his cricketing boots. He's beginning a new innings in his life at this point in time. And who better than his former captain, Sourav Ganguly, the man who debuted on the Test arena with him, to talk and reminisce about Rahul Dravid. Dada, Rahul Dravid's called it quits. He's no longer going to be playing for India. What does this mean for, firstly, Rahul Dravid, and secondly, Indian cricket?
Well, a new life. It's going to be completely different, I can tell you. And it'll take a bit of time to get used to it. He won't get used to it now because he's playing the IPL. He'll train. He'll get ready for it. He's captain of the Rajasthan Royals, so he's got a lot of responsibility. So he will not realize it. Once the IPL finishes, it's going to be a completely different life. It's not going to be bad. It's going to be different.
Will it hit him?
It will hit him, yes. He'll take some time to realize it, because the life of a cricketer is completely different. You wake up in the morning, you go for a training, you live every day trying to get better, looking with your eyes on the Test match, which could be a month away or 15 days away, and finding ways to succeed. And it's going to be completely different now. The challenge will not be there. Whatever he does, when you play for so long, he'll find a lot more avenues to lead a life, a lot more avenues to look after him financially, because he's such a great player, such a great human being, a personality. So things will not change from him from the financial side, but it's the challenge. There cannot be no better satisfaction or challenge for a cricketer when he gets onto the front foot and sees the ball going past covers. It cannot be valued in terms of money. It cannot be valued in terms of whatever you do, and he will miss it, but he will also get used to that. When a year goes by, and he'll realize that I'm 40 years old, I cannot keep playing for long, and that will settle down. So initially he will miss it, but once that time passes, life will be different for him.
What about Indian cricket? How much will they miss their Mr. Dependable, number 3?
Well, of course they'll miss him. Any great player, whether it's the likes of Gavaskar, who went 20 years ago, the great Kapildev, who went another 20 years ago, Sachin Tendulkar will go someday, Dravid's gone, Kumble is gone. Obviously everybody will miss it, and those are hard places to fill, but that's the reality of sport. You have to move on. You cannot keep playing eternally, and I think Rahul has taken the right decision at the right time. He's decided to move on. There will be places vacant. Players will have to step in, but you also have to be a bit reasonable with the young players. They cannot become Rahul Dravid in one day, and they should not look to as well. Whether you're a selector, whether you're a player, whether you're the BCCI, you don't expect a Pujara, a Tiwari, a Sharma, or a Virat Kohli to come and replace the likes of Tendulkar, Dravid, Lakshman, or a Kumble. So you will have to give them time, and they should be allowed to blossom as a player. Get better every series, because Rahul Dravid or Tendulkar or Ganguly or Kumble didn't become in a year. They've played 15 years to get to that level, and these young boys will also take that much of time.
I was reading earlier today, you said that Dravid should have possibly retired after the England tour, gone out on a high. He equaled Donald Bradman, scored 3 centuries on that, disastrous tour of England where the team lost. Would you say this is a delayed decision by Rahul?
It's an afterthought. I always feel that when you're a player of that stature, of so much of success, you should retire on a high, personally and with the team. But to be honest, when India went to England, I didn't expect India to lose 4-0. And when they came to Australia, I knew it would be hard, but I felt at the back of my mind, because I've seen Indian cricket go through that period from 2000 to 2009 when I finished, our performance overseas had a remarkable improvement. So I didn't expect India to, and I'm sure Rahul did not as well, to see Indian cricket get another 4-0 drubbing in Australia. So it's an afterthought. As I said, and I always felt that could have been the right time for him to go 3 Test hundreds. But at that stage, you would not sit down and not think that in Australia I would not get 100, because as a player, when you keep playing, you expect to do well every series. You shouldn't be playing if you don't expect to do well. So when he got those 300s in Australia, I'm sure he expected it to do well. Those 300s in England, he expected him to do well in Australia as well. Obviously, that didn't happen, and that was one of the reasons I think he moved on.
In fact, in his press conference today, he said he's been grappling with this question for almost a year now. And he said that I actively thought about it after England. Do you think, delaying this decision had other reasons as well? Do you think the team management, do you think the BCCI maybe said no, tour, come to Australia, tour there? Do you think there were other external reasons? Or why do you think Dravid then decided to go to Australia? He could have hung up his boots here in front of the Indian audience, the Indian public, when the tour of the West Indies got over.
Yeah, but see, Australia is a different challenge. You get regarded as a player, a top-class player, when you do well in the countries like Australia and England. And I also see the reason why Dravid finished now, because the next tours are in India. It will not have enhanced Dravid's reputation if he would have got 200s in those series against New Zealand or England or whoever, and he probably would have got that. And it wouldn't have enhanced his reputation or made him a worse player. I think he wanted to go on to the tour of Australia because at the end of the day, it's about evaluation of yourself as a player. Where do I stand? The world can think anything about you. You're good, you're not good, you're ordinary, but it's about you. Where do you evaluate yourself, and where do you stand, and what challenges you want to take as a player?